Welcome everybody to another live Laser Distractions. Hope y'all are doing well. What do they say? People of the corn chowder. Okay. Tonight, I don't have nothing big planned tonight. I'm going to be playing around. I got thinking about, those projects I ran last week. Oh, by the way, somebody give me a sound check too. I think this thing's working good. But those projects I ran last week just added to my huge pile of scrap, blanks with some scrap on there that I can use. So I've been thinking about that, and I saw somebody, I don't even remember who it was, in one of the Facebook groups, and they posted I think this is something they ran, and they had another picture posted along with it, trying to compare, with somebody asking how they could get it a little darker or something like that. But I was looking at these things, and every time I see something kind of like this, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I always just take a screenshot and save it on my phone, and then later on I'll run across it again and try to create that. So I thought, to make up something little like this. Now, of course, I'm not one of the guys that makes stuff to sell, and especially one of the guys that does the craft fairs and all that kind of stuff. But I would think that these kind of things would be where you could sell them pretty cheap and still make money, because you could probably just run them out of scrap. So that's what I'm going to try to do tonight. Is I've made up 3 things that are similar to this, and we'll also get to play around, because I'm going to be using scrap. We'll get to play around with the light burn camera. So I haven't done that in a while. But before I get started with that, I thought I would show you. If y'all remember what I did last week, I ran some Easter projects. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, it's got a little bit of glare from that light, but that was the first one I ran. And these were, if you remember, these were Steve Good scroll saw patterns that I got from his website. And this one is done just like a scroll saw pattern with my 80-watt scroll saw. And then if you remember correctly, when I did this one, I saved the pieces. So this right here, all these pieces are glued in. So this one is done kind of more like an inlay. And these have just a couple of layers of Deft, my favorite spray lacquer, DEFT. And then the third one, I also did like that second one, and decided to keep the keep the pieces and glue them in to make it more like an inlay instead of a scroll saw pattern, So but those turned out pretty well. Pretty happy with those. So let's see. Let me get light burn pulled up here. Now I already went to, let's see. Let me see if I can open up this other. Where'd it go? Okay, I found this. Wasn't hard to find. I found this with just a quick Google search and look through the clip art. So that I believe that's the exact same image that the person used in that other photo that I showed you. So, I got all kinds of stuff. Hit the right button, Dave. But anyway, so I made kind of my own little version of it. And it is right here. So I use just a single line text for everything except where it says kitchen conversions. And we'll see how that's going to do. And I've got these set to be about 3 3/4 inches wide, and I think, what is that, 6 and a little over 6 1/4 tall. So this might be something good to use the scrap pieces. In fact, I know when I did that last project last week, I had 2 pieces like this. So I think, grab my tape measure. Yeah, so so I should be able to get 3 of them across here, and then I have 2 pieces like this. So we'll see how this works out. I've got my trusty camera here set up for the middle of the bed, so we'll see how that works out. Guess I'll flip this over here so you can see what I'm doing. Got to put my glasses on so I can see who all's here. Got a few more folks popped in. KS is here. JR. Okay, I guess that's it. All right. Put a couple of these not sure I'm going to need them, but it's okay. Now we will come up here to light burn, and I'll come over to my camera, and let's okay, so there's our thing here. So I think I'm going to try this, and we'll see how accurate I've got my camera set up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit duplicate, try to squeeze 3 of these. Right here. Let's see, let me move all 3 of them over just a hair. Okay, now we'll get to see how well my camera is set up. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to set the origin right there and see if I can Set that right there, and then we'll frame it. All right, let me bump this over just a sec. All right, that looks like it might work. And I think this, because I have this set to lines on all of this, it's only going to take, yeah, a little over 8 minutes to do all three of these. So we'll, in fact, let me check and see how it's going to run them. And of course, I might have to, what the heck, we'll go ahead and run all three of them. I'm not sure about these settings on that. I don't know if that'll be too dark or too light or whatever, but we will try it out here. So let me get the fan turned on and the laser beams turned on. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, I better set the, better check the focus just to be sure. Okay. You know, I've got that other camera on, but it might even be better. Well, now let's see. We're going to need to watch it right here. So let's see what happens. Wondering if I might have to slow one down just a little bit. I've got the speed for this at 100 millimeters a second. And the lines are, I don't know, they don't look too bad. They could stand to be darkened up a little bit, I think. I probably should tell you too, I got this all drawn up, and then I thought, well, I better check the picture that I was looking at. I better check their conversions to make sure they are correct. And when they are converting from You know, when they're doing their conversions, especially on from Fahrenheit to Celsius, they're just kind of rounding up or down to the nearest whatever. For example, I think that first one there, Fahrenheit 250 degrees, I think it's like 122 or something, but they've just put 120, and I thought, well, that's easier to remember on that kind of deal anyway. So okay, Ryan says the camera's out of focus but not pixelated. I guess I could try. Well, nah, I'll leave it like that, I guess. Everybody's being quiet tonight, looks like. Well, we are about to find out how well centered that is, if it's going to fit in there. Looks like it is. Time is going to run a little longer. I don't remember what it said, 8 minutes and, yeah, 8:25. And it's taken, it'll be right at 10 minutes, looks like, to run 3 of them. Yeah, I think these all cut through. Okay, now it won't be so hard to part with this. It's just got a lot more material used out of it. These didn't come out too bad. Let me just hit them lightly. Let's see if you can see that. It all came out pretty good. In fact, you could probably, I think these would be cool to just take a little CA glue and put a little magnet on the back, make a fridge magnet out of it. That way it'd always be handy for the cook in the house. That's one little thing. Let's see if I can find, I'm going to use this other piece. I always forget to switch the camera. I want to see if I can put something maybe right in here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and tell it to update my camera. And I'm going to get rid of a couple of them. Okay. And now, let's see here. All right, that's not, I think I've got, okay, let's see if that works. Nope. Okay, let's see. That's still not going to the right spot. I wonder if my camera's got bumped, because it's not anywhere close to that. Okay, so let's take a look this way. Oh, something's not jiving here. I see why it's off. It's not. Yeah, my camera must be off, I guess. Let's see if I can put this in the center. Okay, I think we got it now. We'll see if that works. I think I see what the problem is now. Because I moved that silly faux pro to the center. Let me go ahead and get this thing started. I think what happened is when I moved the faux pro to the center and then closed the lid, which is where my light burn camera is, I think that's, well, that's not going to work there. That's not going to work there, Dave. For some reason, this thing, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to readjust this camera and go through the calibration again, because that's not doing it at all there. All right, let's try this. For some reason, this thing keeps wanting to. Okay, now I'm not even sure that's going to fit in there. Let's pull that down some more. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've used that camera, so I'll have to go back and see if it's just something stupid I'm doing or if the camera's got bumped. I think it might have got bumped. I know it was the original double-sided tape I used when we had those cold days. I would come out here and it would be hanging down. I'd just kind of grab it and stick it back in there, but I may not have got it back in the right place. Now that may be too dark when you make it small like that. We'll see. Rob Hampton's in the house. How you doing, Rob? Dave's in the house. How you doing, Dave? Let me hit this one with a little sandpaper. This might be a better size for a refrigerator magnet. I think. Where's that right there? Yeah, that one didn't come out too bad. Probably a little better size for a refrigerator magnet. And you can still read everything on it. So it does because I don't know if you can see it, but there's like double lines right there. And of course, when you scale it down like this, they get really close together, but it still put them in there. And then the cut line was offset 2 millimeters. I think it was 2 millimeters. And so of course, when you scale that down, it's real close to the other part too. So that come out pretty good. Dave says, been working on my table for my 150 and studying for my ham license. Okay. Are you, will this be your first license? Are you going for the technician license? That's what I have. And I just recently purchased a GMRS license. You don't have to take the test for that one, but you do have to have a license. And it's funny, this one guy on YouTube, he always says you have to pay the $35 for the license to use the free airwaves. So, but anyway, all right, let's come back up here to, and I'm going to run another one of these. Let's see. I think it was this one. This one is similar to the other one, only it's just got some basic conversion stuff there. I think this one, yeah, 3 1/4 by a little over 6. So, tell you what I'm going to do. Since that camera's needs to be readjusted. Let's see. We'll see. If I come up here and okay. Now let's see if those frame okay. I think I'm going to have to move my camera. Oh, it's not going to have room in the top there, is it? Well, we'll see if we leave one out in the middle, if it'll work like that. It says, yeah, the tech license, possibly the general, is free when you do the tech license. Okay, they must have changed that. I did mine back in 2015, and I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a whole lot, but you had to pay a little something just to get the tech license. Okay, Ryan's got his ham going on. So he's sitting at the table eating a ham sandwich. Close enough. Okay, now we'll see if I missed that. I think that's going to be okay. He says, I'm going to send this to the TV so I can eat my chicken. I tell you, I always watch live streams on my TV. I have a 65-inch big screen in the living room, so I always, sometimes I'll have the phone and the TV going though because I can't comment. I can turn the comments on where I see the live chat. It'll go up along the right side of the screen with my SmartCast, or I don't know how that works. But there's no way to comment. So a lot of times when I go watch somebody else's stream, I always say, hey, y'all, or something, with my phone. And then I stop watching on my phone. I'm watching on TV. And then if somebody asks me a question or something I need to reply to, I have to turn around and grab my phone and open it up again. So, and I always tell people if you see me say, hey, everybody, or something like that, and then you don't hear me anymore, it doesn't mean I'm not watching. It just means I'm not watching on the phone. Yeah, I think on these bigger ones, it could probably slow that down. It's running 100 inches a minute with, let's see, 15 power, or either I should give it a little more power or slow it down one and try to make those lines a little darker, but they still look okay, I think. It's not too bad. We're just about to the top of the hour here. Y'all quit talking about food over there in the chat. You're making me. Okay, Dave, are you going to go ahead and take the general while you're there? I didn't even bother when I went because my reasons for getting a ham license were different than probably everybody else's. I was going so I could get a ham license, and then once I got assigned my original call sign, I went for what they call a vanity call sign, but the sign that I requested was my dad's old call sign. That's the only reason I wanted to become a ham with a technician's license, is just so I could get my dad's old call sign. And I managed to do that, and I call myself the world's worst ham because I have not had that first contact with anybody. I did buy a little cheap HT radio right after I got my tech license, and I fiddled around with it a little bit, mostly just listening, and then I kind of put it off to the side. And then when I went to use it again, I don't know whether I had it setting in the charger cradle funky or something. I don't know. But anyway, it wouldn't work after that. I wasn't sure if it was. I think these look okay. Came out pretty good, especially if you kind of sand them lightly to get some of the the little soot marks off of them and then shoot them with some clear. I think those work out okay. But yeah, I couldn't ever get that thing to work, and I wasn't sure. I thought it was the battery, but then I thought, well, it might be the charger. And I got it out the other day and was fiddling around with it, and I did get it to work. But the only problem is it only works for like 2 minutes because the battery just will not hold the charge. And with that one, I didn't get a spare battery, but I've since bought a different one, and I got 2 batteries and a whole bunch of stuff with that one. But yeah, I'm not active as a ham, but I am going to start being more active with the GMRS stuff. There's and when I was checking out some other stuff, that's how I kind of stumbled onto that, because I didn't even really know what GMRS was. Started watching a bunch of videos, and then got real interested. It turns out there's the North Georgia GMRS Club, and it's right here, and it's they have their own network with a bunch of I think they have like 20 repeaters, and one of them happens to be just a few miles from me, so I can actually set with my new HT, and it's only got one of those little 6-inch rubber ducky antennas, and I can hear them talking all over the place. And they have members in Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, and Florida. It's called the North Georgia, but it's a lot bigger than that. In fact, it's the biggest network, I guess, GMRS network in the U.S. So anyway, all right, enough of that. I guess we'll get ready to wrap this up. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot planned. I'm just thinking about some things I could use to run some of that scrap up, and I still need to come up with something else that's even smaller than this. There's really nothing wrong with that, though. That works fine. I know the camera doesn't do it justice. Can't focus on it, but I can't ever get it to where it'll focus. But anyway, you can read it plenty clear. So let's see. Dave says, "What HT did I get? I got a Baofeng I'm drawing UV 82 is what I got, and I'm just using that for listening, trying to get my feet wet and learn all the stuff about it. But I just today or yesterday ordered, and it just came in today. But I'm still waiting on the antenna. But I got a VTech. What is it? 50 V2, I think, which is a little mobile radio, which will be going either in my truck or my Explorer, or I may try to set it up so that I don't have to buy 3 of them. I may try to set it up where I can just, unplug it and disconnect the antenna and bring it in the house and use it as a base. Because it doesn't take much for a base station, because like I said, the repeater is just a few miles down the road, and I can hit it with that little HT sitting on my lazy boy recliner right there. So anyway, so I'll be doing that as one of my many other hobbies. So anyway, we're right at an hour now. I'm going to get out of here, and you guys know the drill. If you want to come hang out and chat a while, just shoot me a Facebook Messenger. I'll turn Facebook on, and I'll send you the link if you want to come hang out a little while. So Anyway, again, you guys, I really appreciate y'all being channel members and, you know, helping me afford to do some of the stuff I do out here. So appreciate that. And I guess we will see. I'll try to have something a little more exciting planned for next Wednesday, because next Wednesday is the first one of the month, and that's when I always do it, where anybody can join. So I'll have to try to come up with something more exciting, I guess, for that. So anyway, good night, everybody. And like I said, if you want to come hang out, send me a Facebook message, and we'll see y'all next week. Everybody have a good one.